High above our heads, far beyond the clouds we see every day, there is a special layer in our atmosphere. This is the ozone layer. You cannot see it, you cannot touch it, but it is one of the most important things for all life on our planet. It is a thin blanket made of a special kind of oxygen molecule called ozone. This blanket wraps all the way around our world, like a gentle, protective hug. It floats in a part of the sky called the stratosphere, a quiet, cold place far above the weather and the birds. This invisible shield is our planet's first line of defense, a silent guardian watching over us. This layer works tirelessly, day and night. Its main job is to protect us from the sun. The sun gives us light and warmth, which we need to live, but it also sends out powerful invisible rays called ultraviolet or UV radiation. Some of these rays are harmless, but others, known as UVB and UVC rays, are very dangerous. The ozone layer acts like a giant pair of sunglasses for our entire planet. It blocks almost all of these harmful rays, stopping them from reaching the ground. It is a delicate but incredibly effective filter, carefully managing the sunlight that reaches Earth's surface. Think of it like a sieve in the sky. As the sunlight travels millions of miles through space to reach us, it must first pass through this ozone sieve. The good sunlight, the light and heat that plants and animals need, passes through easily. But the harmful UV radiation is caught by the ozone molecules. They absorb the energy of these dangerous rays, sacrificing themselves to protect the world below. This process is happening constantly, a silent cosmic battle being fought for our benefit. It is a perfect, natural system that has allowed life to flourish on the land and in the sea for millions of years. For a very long time, this protective layer was strong and stable. It was a reliable part of Earth's natural systems, a feature of our planet that we took for granted because we could not see it. It quietly did its job, allowing forests to grow, animals to roam, and humans to build their civilizations without the threat of dangerous radiation from above. This delicate balance is what makes our world a habitable, life-sustaining home. The health of this invisible shield is directly connected to the health of every living thing on the surface of the Earth, from the smallest microbe to the largest whale. Now let us imagine a world where this shield is gone. What if the ozone layer completely vanished? The change would not be loud or explosive. It would be a silent, invisible event. But the consequences would be catastrophic. The sky would look the same. The clouds would still drift by. But the sunlight touching your skin would be different. It would carry a hidden danger. The sun's most harmful UV rays, once blocked, would now pour down onto the planet's surface without anything to stop them. Our planet, once protected, would be completely exposed to the full, unfiltered power of our star. The first thing we would notice is the heat. The intense UV radiation would heat the Earth's surface much more than before. This would change weather patterns all over the globe. Areas that are already hot would become unbearable deserts. Places that are normally cool would experience strange and extreme heat waves. The polar ice caps would begin to melt at a terrifying speed, much faster than they are today. This would cause sea levels to rise dramatically, flooding coastal cities where millions of people live. The world's climate would be thrown into chaos, creating powerful storms and unpredictable weather. The very air we breathe would change. The intense UV radiation reaching the lower atmosphere would create a thick, toxic smog. This ground-level ozone, unlike the protective layer high above, is a pollutant. It would make the air difficult and dangerous to breathe, especially for children and the elderly. The chemical reactions caused by the unfiltered sunlight would fill our air with harmful substances. The clear blue skies we know would be replaced by a permanent, hazy shroud. Our world would not only feel different, it would look and smell different too. The oceans would not be spared. While water can block some UV radiation, the intense, unfiltered rays would penetrate deep into the upper layers of the sea. This is where most marine life lives, including the tiny plankton that form the base of the entire marine food web. These microscopic organisms are very sensitive to UV light. The radiation would kill them in vast numbers, causing the foundation of the ocean's ecosystem to crumble. The seas, which cover most of our planet, would become sterile and empty, a far cry from the vibrant, life-filled waters we know. For us, humans, a world without the ozone layer would be a frightening place to live. We would not be able to go outside during the day without special protective clothing. Our skin is not designed to handle such intense UV radiation. Even a few minutes of exposure would cause severe sunburn. The risk of developing skin cancer would increase for everyone, becoming a common and deadly threat. Our eyes would also be in constant danger. The harsh sunlight would lead to widespread cataracts, a condition that clouds the lens of the eye and causes blindness. Our immune systems would be weakened, making us more likely to get sick. Animals would suffer just as much, if not more. They do not have special suits or sunglasses to protect them. Animals that are active during the day would be the most vulnerable. Their skin and eyes would be damaged by the sun. Many would be blinded, unable to find food or avoid predators. Those with fur or feathers might have some protection, but it would not be enough. The fundamental ways that animals live, hunt, and survive would be disrupted. Entire species, unable to adapt to the new, harsh reality, would face extinction. The delicate web of life would be torn apart. Plants, the foundation of life on land, would also struggle to survive. They need sunlight for photosynthesis, the process they use to make their food, but too much of the wrong kind of sunlight is poisonous to them. The intense UV radiation would damage their leaves and disrupt their ability to grow. Crop yields would plummet around the world, leading to widespread famine. The great forests, from the Amazon to the Taiga, would begin to wither and die. As the plants disappear, so too would the oxygen they produce, changing the very air we need to survive. The world would become a barren, hostile place. The vibrant greens of forests and fields would be replaced by the dull browns of scorched earth. The sounds of birdsong and buzzing insects would fade into silence. The rhythm of life, which for millions of years has been tied to the rising and setting of a life-giving sun, would be broken. The sun would no longer be a symbol of warmth and life, but a source of danger and death. Life, if it survived at all, would have to retreat into the shadows, into caves, or deep underwater, hiding from the star that once nurtured it. This frightening vision of a world without its ozone layer is not a fantasy. It is a future that we came dangerously close to creating. In the 20th century, we produced chemicals called chlorofluorocarbons, or CFCs, which were used in refrigerators and spray cans. These chemicals drifted up into the stratosphere and began to destroy the ozone molecules. Scientists discovered a growing hole in our protective shield, particularly over Antarctica. The world was facing a serious crisis. It was a clear warning of how human actions can have unintended and devastating consequences on a global scale. But then, something wonderful happened. The world listened to the science. In 1987, nations from all over the globe came together and signed an agreement called the Montreal Protocol. They agreed to stop producing the harmful chemicals that were eating away at our ozone layer. It was an unprecedented moment of global cooperation. Countries that were once rivals put aside their differences to work together to protect our shared home. This agreement showed that when humanity decides to act as one, we can solve even the most challenging environmental problems. We chose a different path. Because of this collective action, the ozone layer is now slowly healing. It is not yet fully recovered, but it is on the right track. The hole is shrinking. The story of the ozone layer is a powerful lesson for us all. It teaches us that our planet is a delicate and interconnected system. Our actions, even small ones, can have a big impact. It also serves as a tremendous source of hope. It proves that we are not helpless. When we are faced with an environmental threat, we have the power to make changes, to innovate, and to work together for the good of the planet. Today, we face new challenges such as climate change and the loss of biodiversity. The lesson of the ozone layer is more important than ever. We must remember that we are all crew members on this beautiful blue planet, traveling together through space. We have a shared responsibility to take care of it, not just for ourselves, but for all the generations that will come after us. We must continue to listen to our scientists, to cooperate with our neighbors, and to make choices that protect the air, the water, and the incredible diversity of life that makes Earth so very special. Our future depends on it.